Hi, thanks for pressing play on my video today. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.blogspot.co.uk, and I have again for you another really cute way of gifting a selection of your handmade cards. This is a box that holds very comfortably 6 UK A6 cards. That's A4 cut in half and then folded in half, and their envelopes. Can you see the cards are just tucked away in there, matching the colours of the box? If you want to see what those cards look like, pop over to my blog over the next few days and they'll be on there for you to see. So I will just close this back up by if I can, sliding the ribbon back on. Oh, getting a bit of a camera shy box. There we go, we've got that over there and I'll show you how I made it. I'm going to start with 2 pieces of cardstock. The larger piece measures 11 5/8, so standard A4 length, and I've just cut that down slightly so it measures 7 5/8 this way. And then a smaller piece which measures 4 5/8 by 5 inches. So we'll start with the larger piece of cardstock and we will score along the longer side first. We're going to score that at 4 5/8 of an inch, 5 5/8 of an inch, 10 1/4 inches and 11 1/4 inches. As always, all the dimensions will be over my blog and there's a link down below in the bar. So I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees and we are going to score this one at just one score line. I'm just double checking that's right. Yeah, one score line at 6 5/8 of an inch. Okay. I'm just going to put that to one side for just a second. Then I'm going to bring in that smaller piece of cardstock and we're going to score this with the longer side, so the 5-inch side along the top. And we're going to score that very easily in this case at 1 inch and at 2 inches. And then we will pop the scoring board away because that is all of our scoring completed for this project. Okay, we'll start working on this smaller section, which is going to be our this flap section here. So I'm just going to firstly score and burnish, fold and burnish along the score lines. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in the scallop tag topper punch from Stampin Up. And I'm just going to push the card. So again, I'm pushing in the smaller length, so the 5-inch section is this way. I'm just going to flip that over and eyeball that roughly in the centre. Make sure the card is pushed right up against the back of the punch here. And we're just going to punch out that shape. There we go. And what I now need to do is, I'm just going to bring in some scissors. I want to cut from the edge where this has been punched out here to the second score line there, just on the diagonal. You can use your stamping trimmer for this, but I find it's just as easy to do it with a pair of sharp paper scissors like these ones. Okay, there we go, and that is our flap perfectly made, ready to go onto our box, which we will start assembling now. So again, on this larger piece of cardstock, we are going to fold and burnish all of those score lines. Okay. Then we just need to do a little bit of trimming. So the first line, we are going to cut up all of these small score lines along the bottom section that go up to that score line that goes in the opposite direction. If you've made a few boxes, you'll probably at this stage be finding it quite familiar. And then we're just going to notch out those corner pieces there. And we're going to trim off completely that end section. Okay. First thing we want to do is just double check how that is going to fold up, and where that meets there, this is going to be the back side of our box. So this is where we want to attach our flap. So I'm just going to use snail, and I'm going to put some snail across this section here. You can see that there? Yep, I think you can. So I'm just going to run that along there. Really been practicing with snail and it has really grown on me actually. it's so much easier now for me than red line tape. So I'm just going to line that up so that the fold sticks to the box, and that crease line there lines up with the top of the card here. Okay, so it will look something like that once you've attached that on there. You can see. Now we're just going to build up the box. So I'm going to firstly put some snail along this small flap here. And this flap is pretty much perfectly sized actually for the size of the snail tape. So we'll put that along there like that, hopefully a bit straighter than I did it. And then we can just fold this over and fold the box over, and they will then align beautifully for your box to open up just like that. Okay, and that seam is at the back, matching the back of the flap. Sorry, going off camera a bit there. The bottom is then just going to fold in like this again, so that the flap section goes to the back of the box. Just makes it look a little bit more professional really, in my opinion. And again, just going to seal that using a bit of fuse. You do need something with a little bit of strength, because you don't want these popping apart in the way that they may if you used something like ordinary snail. You can see how that box is going to pop up like that. Next thing we're going to do is decorate it. On the example I showed you earlier, I used the Petite Petals stamp set in it's not Black Proboscis, it's Rich Raspberry, Crushed Curry and Island Indigo. On this one I am going to use 3 colours. I'm not sure how well they're actually showing up on camera, I'll pick it up. I've used Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana and Smoky Slate. Now these 2 colours are, as you know, retiring very soon, so if you do like those colours, quickly stock up on them now before they're gone together. And I've used a different stamp set, sorry, Gone Forever I should say. I've used a different stamp set. I've used sort of the big brother of the Petite Petal set, the Flower Shop set. And whereas Petite Petals, I've left quite a bit of gaps between the flowers. Again, I've used 3 different stamps, but I've kind of overlapped them quite a bit to make my own sort of mock designer series paper, which you'll see me doing a lot in my videos. That is just going to go on the front of our box like that. But I think it's quite nice, a bit like this one, to put a little gift tag on it. I'm also using another set that's retiring and leaving us very shortly, and that is Label Love. So I've just got a scrap of Whisper White here, and I'm going to stamp it in Calypso Coral. I think I made a mistake actually. Calypso Coral isn't retiring, it's just the Coastal Cabana that is going to be leaving us. So this is the Label Love stamp set from Stampin' Up. This one I used the Just For You tag, but this one I'm going to do to the best friend I've ever had, which I think is a lovely one to use. I use this one quite a bit with my mum actually, and I think she quite loves that sort of sentiment. So just going to ink that up, stamp, and then punch it out using the matching punch. Quite excited to see what new products Stampin' Up are going to be bringing out very shortly to replace all these beauties that are retiring. Just going to punch that out. I have then got some Smoky Slate chevron ribbon. I love this ribbon. I don't mind admitting that I was quite upset when I saw that Stampin' Up were retiring these as well. These are quite beautiful ribbons indeed. So I'm just going to put a little bit of fuse to hold the ribbon in place. Oh, I forgot my flick. That's me jinxing myself by saying I'd quite got the hang of this fuse. So I'm just going to overlap that ribbon slightly there. Wrap that round. I'm going to line that up by eye and then stick it down on the other side. There we go. Quite pretty. Not very straight though. Move that up a little bit. And then just going to use 2 dimensionals to pop up my stamped image, if I can pick it up. Oh, no, off the end of the table it is going to go. So I'm just going to stick those 2 dimensionals down and pop up that sentiment on top of that ribbon. Oh, I'm liking that colour combination actually. What do you think? Then this is just going to stick onto the box, so I'm just going to put that on with a little bit of snail. I'm just going to line this up. You can of course do this before you fold the box up, might be a little bit easier in terms of getting it straight. I'm just going to line it up to the bottom of the box there and up to the top, like that. Okay. Now I did make the flap a little bit longer than on this one because I think it'll help with keeping it closed. So I just have the 1/2 inch circle punch, and I'm just going to use by eye really, and stamp 2 holes that are pretty as level as I can kind of get them, I think. You think about that? And I'm just going to, at this point obviously you pop your cards in. I'm going to come back in with my ribbon, which is just here. It was hiding from me for a second. I'm going to push that through there, snip some off. I can be quite liberal now that this is retiring, but I am absolutely going to stock up on this ribbon before it goes because it is a bargain price. And it is a really beautiful ribbon. I love it for gift packagings and all that sort of thing. So I'm then just going to tie that, pull that tight with the flap down, a bit like that, and tie that off in a flat knot, just like that. There we go. Trim those edges down a touch. And there we go. Another really gorgeous way, move some of this out of the way, another really gorgeous way to gift some of your cards. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.